Hey Anthony, I am doing well, buddy. How are you? Oh, why is the new nuke not working? Oh no, I checked that. Okay. It's almost like the first nuke of the day is always broken. Yeah, mine tonight. First nuke of the day. I mean, it says it's okay now. So it's very strange because the little program that I use, that I need to use basically to make it work, kind of breaks just occasionally. So now it's saying it can't connect, but it's showing it's connected. Oh, there we go. It is working. The waffle, only the first one's always bad. Yeah. It's kind of frustrating, actually, because I actually, this time I was like, right, make sure that I do it. Make sure that I test it before I go live to ensure that it does work. And it worked, and then because I restarted OBS because another plugin didn't work, it decided to break. I feel like my OBS is being held together with duct tape because of all the different add-ons that it has. That was ultimately what put my stream out of action for a while. Was Craig. Craig had a special add-on. And that's what was breaking my computer. Hey Brian, how's it going? Football season is upon us. I know, opening week, right? I'm kind of a little bit gutted because I won't see the Bears game because it's a late game, Monday night game. So that'd be like a 1 a.m. kickoff on Tuesday morning for us here in the UK. And I'm away with work all next week. So from Monday morning until Thursday night. So long week for me next week. But it means that I'm just not going to have... I mean, I'll probably be able to I'll get up in the morning and I'll watch the highlights. That's what I'll do. But that's about it. I'll try and watch some games on Sunday though. I've done my fantasy draft now as well, so we're all in on that. Fantasy team is ready to go. I'm excited for this year. I think it's going to be a really good season this year. I feel like this year is going to be... as a Bears fan, we always say that this year is going to be our year because we know what this looks like. But I feel like there's more optimism around the team than there has been in a while. I guess last year there was optimism, but... I guess we weren't sure if they were like, I guess there was always like doubts. We're like, yeah, we should be better. Like, we're kind of feeling ourselves a little bit. But then, you know. DJ was on your fantasy team, Brian. Good choice. I went with Roma Dunze on my team. I have Swift and Roma Dunze. The foibles of being a Bears fan, I end up generally picking Bears players. But like I got them both at good value picks. So like at the time I was like, well, I don't really want two Bears players because I'm doubling down. You know, if they have a bad day and the Bears lose, it's like a double disappointment. So it is a very dodgy strategy to draft players on the team that you support, I think. But I got them both at a very good spot. So I felt like I just had to take them. Hey Rob, always makes you join me online. Well, good to be here, buddy. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. You're a Jags fan if you've got how to be optimistic. Well, the Jags are the team that I have seen the most live because they play in the UK every year. So I have seen the Jags quite a few times, and I've seen you go through lots of ups and downs, including I was at the Bears Jags game last year. I was there. Obviously that was one of the few games that we won, and at that point in the season as well, we were riding high. I remember coming out of that stadium after that Bears performance where we kind of just like, yeah, we were just on top form. I was so encouraged, and then I think that was the last win we got all season, or until the Green Bay game at the end. I think at that point in time we were like 3-2, something like that. And then all the wheels came off. Yeah, the Jags, they are definitely a team that I've seen kind of go like from, at least you're not as bad as you used to be, like, because the Jags used to be the kind of the running joke, I would say. Jags and the Browns, there were two teams that would come to the UK quite regularly, and both those teams are here again this year. And they would always be, who's got the first pick? Well, it's probably the Jags or the Browns. But I will say, like, the Jags in recent years have been a bit better, and feels like Trevor Lawrence is, I mean, I know he's not setting the world on fire, but he doesn't seem like he's the right guy. Like, at least you're not, you know, stuck in that loop of drafting a new QB every year or every other year. So that's good. And also, you know, Brian Thomas, he's a good player. And, you know, hopefully Travis Hunter's going to be good too. You know, I do honestly think it is a bit ridiculous that he's going to play both ways. And they are saying that he's going to play both cornerback and wide receiver. To me, that is just like, even if you do have the fitness to do that, you know, you are fit and able, and even if you have maybe, you know, the innate skill to be able to do that, I just think you're going to end up being a jack of all trades type player and not really ever excelling at either. So I think my kind of like hot take is going to be that Travis Hunter, by the end of the season, probably even by the midpoint of the season, is going to be playing only one way. They would have said, we need your wide receiver, which I think is more likely. I think it's more likely he will be a wide receiver. We need your wide receiver. That's your position. And we want you to focus on it. We want you to do all of the positional drills. We want you to do all of that stuff. Because, like, there's not much time between games to then go through, you know, the plan for the next game week. And you've got a week to prepare for the next game. And he's going to have to prepare two sides of the ball. It's tough. Still happen to be over there when the NFL is, but not for the game. Nice. Nice, Roman. This is it's not the first year I haven't been to a London game or a UK game, but this year none of the fixtures really kind of like blew me away. I think we're getting a little bit of NFL fatigue in terms of the teams that are coming over, not the actual game. I think everyone's like super engaged with the game. I think it's the teams. And the weird thing is that the like for the first time, and maybe this is like a good sort of indicator, for the first time, not all of the tickets immediately sold out. So you can still get tickets to those games right now. I mean, the pricing as well has gone through the roof. I think that's another factor there. Because I remember it used to be, I think it was around about £70 for, like, we would usually go along the sides, kind of like up in the heavens, which is usually not like, it would be like a category like 5 ticket, right? It's not the worst place. It's probably not even the second worst sort of position, but it's probably about the third. But I think it's great for watching football because you get that kind of like satellite view, so you can see everything that's going on. But of course, you know, sometimes it can be hard to make out the individual players, like specifically each player. But it's great for watching the game as a whole, and you'll see everything. You know, you'll see all of the. You won't ever miss anything. And yeah, that was about £70, and that ticket price now for the same seat is about £150, so it's doubled. And as far as I'm concerned, they haven't improved anything. You know, it's the same teams, it's the same stadiums, and yeah, it's just kind of a bit ridiculous. Hey Justin, welcome in. Good to have you here on one of the live streams. Having a bad day. Can I tell you a joke to cheer you up, Viral? I don't know any jokes. That's really, like, off the top of my head, I'm like, do I know any jokes that are good? Oh my god, I don't. Surely I know, like, a joke. I don't. I have one joke that I tell, but it's a very English joke. Like, it doesn't work. It's a very... so niche. It's such a niche joke. Man, I don't even know any jokes. Let me just find one. Totally copping out and just finding one. Okay. These are all awful. I can't even find a decent one on Reddit. God. Okay, this is actually, I've never heard this one before. This one's okay. How do you follow Will Smith in the mud? Follow the Fresh Prince. There you go. I hope that helped. The good thing about him is if he doesn't do well at wide receiver, you can make him a full-time cornerback and vice versa. Yeah, sure. I feel like the nervousness is that they kind of drafted him, like obviously being the number one overall pick in the draft, you need to be elite at something. And I feel like they didn't draft him at number one overall because he was an elite corner or an elite wide receiver. They drafted him because he could play both ways, which is just like an insane thing to be able to do. It saves you a roster spot, right? There's the laugh. So I feel like if he does end up saying, no, you have to be wide receiver, and he doesn't end up being, you know, like the next Jamar Chase. You brought the difficulty down because you kept losing scenarios, Rob. Frosthaven, it can be like that, to be honest. I think I've said before, one of my kind of negatives for Frosthaven is that the scenario design is often like quite complicated, like what you need to do. And sometimes there's kind of like the quote unquote right way to play it. And if you don't have the kind of mercenaries, or maybe you don't bring the right cards or something to it, then you can really struggle. And also on the reverse of that, it makes it quite easy for, like, if your objective is just to finish the game, like if you're speed running, if you're just trying to finish the game as fast as possible, or complete as many scenarios as possible, there are some scenarios that you can just absolutely cheese, like, and just win, you know, really fast, or just cheese it without really engaging in playing the game, you know, like without doing the whole, oh, I'm going to play 2 cards and use the top ability in the bottom bit. He's like, nope, I'm just going to stand here and burn cards, or, oh, I just need to do this. So that is like one of the criticisms that I have of Frosthaven. It is the scenario design sometimes is a home run, sometimes is a bit of a head scratcher. It's like very boom or bust. Whereas I would say Gloomhaven in general, there was a couple of outlying kind of bad scenarios. That was more to do with the balance, or the difficulty. But for the most part, they're all pretty, you know, a nice even plane there of difficulty and stuff. Right. Ooh, there was a patch yesterday as well, was there? There was. Bug fixes. Deathwalker has a level 2 card that really trivializes a lot of scenarios. Yeah. Absolutely. And it feels like you like, I mean, to be fair, there were characters in Gloomhaven that had the same issue. Like, they had a couple of things that were a bit like that. But for example, like, I really miss having the Blink Blade now, because the Blink Blade was awesome. Because the Blink Blade, you could just like race towards stuff, finish things really quickly, effectively. Like, sometimes it's good just to have like a character like that in your party, just so that you can like complete masteries and stuff, like battle goals really quickly, right? You can kind of help your other characters get better because you can just speedrun scenarios. You're doing a permadeath run and you're probably going to lose with no more non-lost scenarios left. Ooh. I've always liked the idea of doing a permadeath run. The thing with a permadeath run to me, though, is that do you not just, like... I mean, what difficulty do you play on? Because I felt like you just would be really, really careful. Oh, you did Elemental course with level 1 characters and made it near perfect, but just didn't have enough stamina to finish it. Yeah, stuff like that. Well, that's what, actually, in the last scenario, that's why I ended up losing. Was because I kind of got greedy. Similar kind of thing, except I just got greedy. Right, we can't do Sacred Soul yet, so we're going Edge of the World again, aren't we? We're going straight back into Edge of the World, and this time we'll play this scenario pretty honestly.
Blown off track by the winter winds, you come across a monolithic door deep set into the mountainside. You knock on the towering, gem-crusted stonework, but it feels so thick you can't even be sure the sound carried through. Whoever or whatever created it made sure it was impervious to both the elements and unwanted guests. An inscription is written in a language you can't easily make out. A receptacle on the doorframe looks as though it wants an offering, but what would fit?
I'm guessing we don't have whatever it is. I don't know if there was... Yeah, there should only normally be apply power. We do have the power core, don't we? Yeah, screw it. Put the power core in.
You press the charged core into the doorframe's receptacle, and it mounts with a satisfying click. It's clear this isn't the right object. The contours are all wrong, and the core barely fills half the gap. And then it just happens. A spark of light, and the door rumbles itself open, shaking off ages of dust and ice. Inside is a modest chamber and a single pedestal. On it, you find a gnarled wand emblazoned with the symbol of the Orchid High Council.
Nice. So we now have an uncharged core, but we have a wand. What does the wand do? During your turn, lose 1 morale? No way. Really? Lose 1 morale to perform Bless, target all allies and... Oof. Oof. I don't know how I feel about that. Is this the first time, unless this is a bug and it shouldn't say morale, it should be something else. But is this the first time we've seen an item that kind of interacts outside of a scenario, right? Because morale is something you earn, and never seen that. Not me. I've definitely never seen this. I mean, kind of feels a little bit free. He's retiring, so probably not good to give it to him. I guess we give it to the Bone Shaper because we could, like, you know, cheekily get a bunch of blesses with our summons. But I don't know how I feel about that item, because morale is just something that you kind of just earn throughout the game and the way you play. It's not... I'd rather spend it on building things. Definitely morale. That is correct for that item. Okay. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen an item in any of the Haven games that kind of interacts with, like, a resource outside of the scenario, essentially. You know, that is a campaign party resource. That's interesting. No. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I generally don't think that my skeletons are going to have a good day against these guys. Lurkers are pretty tough. Brambeer, thank you so much for the sub, dude. 13 months in a row. The quest continues, my friend. Appreciate you. Brains? Brains. No, don't like that one. So conditional. I can probably get away with Rambler. It's actually easily doable. But I'm retiring anyway. I'm retiring anyway.
Following up.
We've listened to that intro more than enough times. What an interesting item. I don't think like I would use it though. Just I don't know. Maybe against in a boss scenario. Maybe that's a good sideboard item actually. We probably don't talk about sideboard items enough. But an item that you can absolutely just bring in as and when seems like a pretty good idea. Like you go to a boss scenario and you just want to like finish it quickly. That is a bunch, an absolute bunch of blesses, especially on like this kind of with a summoner. Okay, what should we do on our first turn? I think we kind of know that we don't really have a lot to do, really, on the first turn. We'd certainly go late. We go late on everybody here, though. Do we want to start melee or ranged? I think we probably want to... That's a good question. Oh, I can't move. No, I have to move. Basically, move. These guys have what? Movement value 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes, if we chill here, we should be okay. There's a chance the Skelly gets attacked. Oh, I guess if we go over here and summon there, that makes no difference, really. It really makes no difference. I think going in late and doing something like a drag down is probably pretty good. We probably get a... These guys will bunch up in some degree, so I'm sure a drag down is possible. Are we going to switch forms? Or we could go for a late Hornet Stingers, I suppose. It's pretty good against these guys too. Yeah, let's do that. Also, if we go kind of before everybody else, then none of our allies should be in the way, hopefully. And there's a game mechanic where you reach super low morale, so maybe you could help with that. Oh, interesting. Yeah, similar to how, like, I guess the reputation system in Gloomhaven worked. I'm gonna go kind of... You either want to go, like, super positive or super negative, right? Crabs. Why did it have to be crabs? Oh, yeah, he has multi-target. Yeah, that kind of blew. That actually kind of blew, didn't it? Let's go and get this guy. Can I go 5 times speed, please? 5 is too fast. 4 times. No, I generally only play on. I generally only play on 1. I mean, I could go. Oh, are they actually? Wait, was there never a 2 before? Have they added a 2? Because for me, like, for streaming, I generally tend to not like to go super fast on the animations. Like, I tend to just, like, enjoy just playing the game. But a 2 might be okay. I swear it was, like, 1, 3, and 5 before. Maybe I'm going wrong. We'll try it on 2. But I generally don't like speeding it up because, like, for me... kind of part of the, you know, watching experience with you guys, you know, playing along. Let's play a 2. I could try 2. Two seems okay. Two looks so fast even. It does look quite a lot faster, doesn't it? Okay, so we're gonna try and go after these guys. Gonna push them away a little bit. What do we have? We have ice, earth. I don't think there's anything that we really care about, is it really? No. Into my embrace is kind of okay. Yeah, I think something like that. At least do a rounded 5x. It's too fast, dude. It's too fast for me to like also just enjoy playing like the pace of playing, you know? I want to save the piercing pummel for next time. Go for a disarm. Could be quite good, but it's a bit of a rubbish initiative. Encase punch, maybe. It's crushing crystals. That would be okay. But I think we want to do that late and then try and... Actually, yeah, let's do it like this. Go late and we'll try and snipe one of these two. 2, 3. Yeah, maybe with the boots 4. I might do it. These guys need to go early, unfortunately. And we need to heal. I think we just burn the bomb with Putrid Cloud. Have at it. Yeah. The amount of shielding is obscene these guys have, quite honestly. Okay. Well, I think we just try and kill... Push this guy away? Oh, it just feels like such a waste. 3 or 4. I'm not switching forms either, which makes my next turn a little bit awkward. We'd have to go, like... Selfless Offering into... Yeah. No, don't like that. Let's push this guy away. Hey, Numbers. It's good to be back, buddy. Good to see you. You're at 19 stars in Frosthaven 2.0 currently, enjoying the updated content. Nice. I really want to try and get into it. I have I have plans to play it. I have plans. But I don't know when that will start. Yeah, we'll get this back. What faction am I siding with? I actually haven't decided. I'm very much like going into it kind of blind, just going to enjoy it. I'm going to hopefully play it with my girlfriend and, you know, try and get her into it. That may work, that may not. But that's the plan. The plan is to try and see how we do. Right, we do have ice, so we'll go for the piercing pummel on this guy and hopefully get it. I mean, I'm hoping that I get it. And then really I need to make ice, don't I, for the next turn. So it's going to be something like this, yeah. 50, 31, 29... swap for sure. Are we the baddies? Yeah, maybe. I think that's definitely an option in Frosthaven. Frosthaven? Gloomhaven 2.0. Right, you can be a bit mean in that? Or choose the mean faction, at least. Why do these guys just constantly have shield? It's just ruining my game. I'm obviously not going to pull, am I? He's already gone too. So we can do a drag down next turn and then sort of... Fag Pansy, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I really appreciate it. Welcome to the Adventuring Party. 11 months now. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, buddy. Welcome back. Ooh, sacrifice? I mean, it's a good time to sacrifice, I think. Sacrifice! You're gonna die anyway. Okay, we do this. Don't think he's gonna die, but trying my best. Trying our best out here. Oh, the ice is gone? Oh, dang it. Oh, I suppose it doesn't really matter. So we could go for the lucky dice on this one to try and get the kill off. I mean, that would be a good way of trying to get the kill. We try and roll into the ×2. Sure. +2, +2. ×2! Holy moly! Yep, that'll do. That was wild, yeah. How much damage did it actually do in the end? 11. That's not as much as I thought. Did that only just kill him? No, because he had like 7 health. God, so much terrain. You had to walk 10 hexes before doing it. Oh, is that a achievement or something? A mastery. Cancel the round active bonuses because we want that back for sure. Okay. Well, we just sort of run around and pick up the loot again, I think, here, right? That's about it. We can make another skeleton. Just get some loot, I think. Easy. Easy loot. We'll go late here, though. Right, we're going to do a drag down. I think we'll do venomous barbs. Do venomous barbs blossom into drag down, or do we just drag down and then run away? It's an interesting one. I definitely want to go and do a piercing pommel, but I'd have to get behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is doable, but I'd have to do it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, piercing pommel that way. So then maybe I just kind of do a drag down just to lock them in place. Not necessarily move. Just do venomous barbs, drag them down. Oh, come on. Oh, okay, it's fine. But ooh, that's a bit nasty. That's a little bit nasty. How many targets is that? Target 2. So what's it going to be? Potentially like 6 versus doing this to get a poison. Yeah, I think I move away actually. Kind of blows, but I think I do. Hey, Peter. Generate your least favorite Frosthaven class by a fair margin. You'll be nice when we get the first update with new classes. Yeah, I mean, I think the Geminate honestly is the kind of class that maybe shouldn't be available in the initial group. I mean, it's nice to have like a complicated class that I think speaks to a lot of people do enjoy it. But yeah, it's a very nuanced class that even when you do play it really well, the payoff isn't incredible, I would say. So I'm kind of with you there, bud. There are some really cool combos with it and other classes, though. It's just that it doesn't really happen at the beginning of the game. Well, I don't need to consume that earth, do I really? How'd you see on the Have Genetic? This is your first character and it was a hard carry for your team. It definitely, you know, it definitely has some good elements to it, but it's just unfortunately it just, I don't know. I also feel like potentially it's one of the classes as well that I actually think digital hurts because of the UI of digital a little bit. Because one of the things with the Geminate, I never played the Geminate in physical. I don't think I did. Or if I think I got the cards out and what have you, and you know, we researched it and we theory crafted a bit, but I don't think I ever actually played the Geminate in my campaign, my physical campaign. And it feels like it really benefits from, you know, laying all of your cards out and really like looking at them and working out how they weave together. You know, it's like a puzzle. And I feel like digital, you know, everything's kind of condensed into the screen. You can't sort things the way you would maybe like to. So I think like it's one of those kind of like information things as well, where absolutely if you could lay it out on the table, kind of figure out, okay, I weave this into this, and then I kind of do this, and I have this synergy here. And also like I feel like a lot of these like bottom burn kind of abilities as well, there's quite a few of them. And like this one, for example, like they're obviously, they can be used, but you need to kind of understand how you're going to use them. Stuff like that. So like, yeah, I felt like it's good, but it also, it kind of gets hamstrung a little bit by digital. Right, what do we need to do here? Well, we want to loot. Probably make a skeleton, really, don't we? I think we're kind of in that, like, resting period. Now this guy, we can kind of ignore him, can't we? Perhaps I should have gone with Shard Launch, actually. What would have been a better move here? Because then I'm going to have to go back on myself a little bit. I think that's okay. I mean, we're kind of going a little bit slower anyway on this one. Gemini was delayed picking your group, and the player is a doctor of astrophysics. Needed some big brain plays. Nice. That's funny. Huh? Oh, loot. Skip the loot. I was confused then what was going on. How do you think drill will be unlocked? Aren't there a couple of ways to get drill on the board game? Did I unlock drill? Am I getting confused with drill? I think I had drill. I feel like so far something that's kind of come up a little bit short, for me at least, is the puzzle book stuff. I know they haven't really done much on the puzzle book, but right now, like, it's just progressing. Like, we come back after every scenario and they're like, hey, we figured it out, yay. You know, it's just progressing. I hope they kind of add on there a little bit more. Because although I was not a fan of the puzzle book, personally, I do think that it needs to be, it's an important part of the storytelling of the game, so it needs to be a little bit more of an interactable element there. I think just like, basically just text dumping every time you come back to the outpost is not the best solution. You got it in the puzzle book? I think maybe... Well, I never got that far in the puzzle book. The puzzle book nearly turned me off the game. It really did. It's gonna be interesting to see how this tries to work this. Because will you... It should just go there. Okay. Well, good job I had shield 2 there, huh? You just searched up the answers? Yeah. Like, my biggest complaint with the puzzle book was that there were no hints provided inside the game. There was a really good... I can't remember who did it. I don't know if it was Dwarf, or I can't remember who did it, but someone did a kind of like a set of tips online to help you. Or just like, okay, here's some hints, you know? But my biggest gripe was that I was like, that should have been in the game, man. Like, I think it's pretty... To me, it's pretty bad to put something like that in the game without putting the answers inside the game, or some way of you getting a hint or some help or something. And compared to Gloomhaven, which you didn't need it to progress, so it was just sort of like a bit of a fun Easter egg type thing. You needed it to play the game, so it was kind of criminal in my opinion. Should not have been done that way. Doing well with the skeletons here. Do we want to kill a skeleton to get a bless? I mean, we're kind of trying to... Hang on. Why haven't I... I should at least have one of these. I feel like this is just bugged anyway. Sure. I think they're all of the 2 health ones anyway. They're not the 1 health summon, right? Yeah, they're not. Probably got rid of the wrong one there. And sure, we can do one more shard launch, can't we, before resting, I think. Well, we definitely need to move on, so maybe we do some Dark Tidings. Just move on. Yeah, we're kind of on that long rest thing right now, aren't we? I'll do. It was Dwarf, yeah. That was such a really good thing to do, but it was, in my opinion, that's just a criminal. It's like if you were to do a crossword or something and they decide to just not put the answers in. You know, like, come on. Like any puzzle book usually has the answers at the back of the book, you know. Flip it upside down, look at the back couple of pages, you get the answers, right? Ooh, maybe? It's doing no damage anyway. Just there to tank, really. You want to know everyone's starters, characters that they've played in order. You played Gem, Coral, Prism, and Snowflake. I played... Well, I guess I played 2, so... Deathwalker, so Deathwalker, Drifter, Fist, Coral, Prism, Meteor. This isn't in the right order, I don't think. Drill. I feel like I'm forgetting one. Trap. Definitely was forgetting one. I don't really want to open this door because I'm about to long rest, but... what should we get rid of? Scariflight's kind of okay. I need to get some XP, man. I need to start burning some cards. I feel like I've messed up this card selection as well. Because I was trying to go for the mastery, burning cards. So I've included a load of stuff I don't think I normally would. Like Feeding Frenzy. I wouldn't normally have that. Let's get rid of... Let me show the guys. It's going to be a nice play in a minute. Ugh, too much good stuff. Scarab fight. Scarab fight. Oh, Kelp. I'll play Kelp as well. I have indeed played Kelp. Well, kind of makes sense to just have a good little boon here, right? Poisoned. And then we're long resting. Wow. That's underwhelming. Wow, one damage from that on a poison target. The skeletons are gonna do more damage. Well, not actually. They didn't. It was close. It's funny. Yeah. Sure, I'll just keep on moving. There's only a target 2, so it's going to be 1 skeleton and the geminate, so it's kind of fine. Need some pierce? Yeah, they're not really not very good on this scenario, I don't think. My pairs were Drifter and Deathwalker, then Kelp, then Trout, then Prisoner, Meteor, then Fist and Drill. Thank you. Thank you, Peter. I can't remember that. I love you guys for remembering stuff like that, because I just cannot. It's like shard launch, maybe. It's kind of okay. We definitely need our jumps to get over the trap in a bit. So we can't be doing that. We definitely need to open this door. I think we can just shard launch it, can't we, really? Yeah. Actually, I don't think we can. We're probably going to have to open and then kind of come back. We might have to do a little bit of messing around here. Where we kind of open the door and then kind of come back here. Yeah, I like that. 1, 2, 3, and then we get the pierce. I think that's a good idea. I need to switch, don't I, really? Switching is key. I could go late and do a drag down, I suppose, couldn't I? Like, if they come in. 1, 2, 3, and then maybe I get something? Sure. I think we have to go early here, though. Even if it's just going to be like a bit of a nothing burger kind of turn. Move 2 and, like, summon another skelly. Ooh. Okay, I think I do sacrifice for that. That's a big hit. That could make all the difference. Oh! What do you know? Well, that's going to maybe make my turn a little bit awkward. I mean, I can't really complain, I suppose. Why would I?
No, that's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Having dispatched the lurker.
Yep. Okay, they're not attacking. They're not moving either. In theory, I could kind of go here and do a little cheeky. A little cheeky reach attack. What is this guy doing, though? He's the scary one. What's the range? Range 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. I think we'll be okay. 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. I think we can kind of go here. And do a little sneaky hit there, I think. Right? Because he's only going to move... He's doing a range 2. These guys aren't moving. Oh, I don't have the ice to make the range. That's what I was doing wrong. Right. Okay, then. I think I just open the door then, don't I? And kind of position myself to then use it potentially the next turn. Kind of hope we get a bit of a stack going. Although it might be a little bit of a runaway, use ice shards type turn next turn. No frost? Yeah, story of my life. Well, I guess we're going to move in, aren't we? That almost timed perfectly to when I did that jump. We definitely want piercing pummel back for sure. Probably our best card in this entire dungeon. I think we let them go kind of late. How am I on a long rest again? I mean, I guess all I'm doing is is looting, hoovering up loot. And my summons aren't dying as well. That's the thing. It's like the weird stamina drain that the Bone Shaper has, where you're actually doing quite well. Like your summons aren't dying; they're actually doing pretty well. And then the problem comes that you end up resting loads because you don't want to kill them. You're like, well, why would I want to spend 2 life to summon them again? I guess I could. I should. I probably should. I think it's something like this. Get out of the way. Ooh, we definitely should get a really nice firefly swarm though. How are we gonna make fire? We just can't. Oh, I suppose we can siphon it, can't we? Siphon it? Convert it. That's the word that I was looking for. With the circle of elements this turn. So in that case, we want to try and get this. So we will hold fire. We don't want to swap. We just want to do a bit of damage. We could just do a reshape the guys, which is kind of like a little nice. Yeah, we could do this. This kind of just heals us, right? Get that off. Get a heal. And then next turn we're in for the Firefly Swarm. Because these will definitely be all linked up. Ooh, they're moving. That's annoying. So actually maybe they won't be all awkward. Okay, what are you doing? 3. 1, 2, 3. So I kind of just need to go. Yep. Goodbye. I think we go for it anyway. Go skellies. I'll just move myself. Just move myself. Definitely engage punch. Okay, so we're gonna go for it. These two, I think. And then we absolutely need to swap. So we'll do some damage to this guy, and then we'll try and hopefully that actually has a really impactful turn. I think we want to go late here again, don't we? Really? I mean, a push onto some traps would be nice, but I think it's unlikely that's gonna happen for us. Oh look, here we are again. Kind of just in the short long rest window. Maybe we do just long rest. It's the safe bet, I think. Am I going to have to move, actually? Oh, man. See, this is the thing with the Geminate, right? This is the thing. This is kind of like the problem with the Geminate. Is every time you think you've got a good turn, oh, something's not quite in the right range. It's basically like playing a Tinker with extra steps. Ugh. Yeah, I thought I was going to have a really, really good turn there. But I mean, that was pretty good. Maybe I should have used the power potion. I mean, yeah, I definitely should have, because that would have died. Um... I just skip the push, to be honest. They're in like a nice sort of pattern for me now. This is a little path in. No. Alright, can't kill any more enemies, otherwise we lose the battle goal. Let's see. He's the grave digging one. He's the damned horde one. So this one. I mean, the skeletons are going to get kind of pretty useless. Next bit. The Iron Crown cancelled my hit on that mist. That's because I have the... Yeah, what? I don't have the Iron Crown equipped. Do I have it in my inventory? That was weird. Definitely not as intended. We're gonna go super late here for fairly obvious reasons. Do I have a small item? Oh, yeah, I do. I have glancing potion. So the glancing potion just triggered. But it triggered... So it triggered the wrong... It showed the wrong effect, I guess. Like, yeah. Like the graphic was misleading, but it was the right result. Lumber. That is some proper Gloomhaven gaming right there, chat. A stun into a disarm? Double turns? What are we doing? The power level's off the charts. Um, I can probably fell remedy just to get rid of this wound, just to be nice, just to be friendly, you know? And quite honestly, I'm probably just going to use that as a move too. I'm obviously on a long rest next turn anyway. Let's go late. Well, that's that battle goal done. I mean, I should have gone with the other one, which was like to kill 5 or something, right? How good that would have been. Right, so now I can kind of try and... I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4... I mean, maybe I just kind of get there. And we long rest. Might be a good idea. I feel like maybe I should burn this just so that I kind of get an XP, you know? Kind of... It's a bit sad, but the state we're in. We will skip ability. We'll go for a long rest next turn. Long rest. Yeah, kind of a long rest, but maybe I can... I'm on 7. I'm gonna heal up anyway. Try and get some loot. Loot up, baby. Clear the way. Gold. I mean, it's probably something that can't really affect him, right? I think he's immune to poison or wound. What? He's immune to one of them. The push is very good against him. Crushing crystals. The bottom is good, but the top not so good. So I'll put you at the top. Right, Geminate. What should we do? I don't think you can immobilize bosses. Most bosses, at least. Probably Hornet Stingers. I don't think it really does much. Or however, the disadvantage could be quite good. I think we want to try and do one of these Venomous Barbs turns. That's the whole reason why we took that card, and we haven't really set it up yet. Maybe reshape the guys, quite honestly. It doesn't really... achieve much right now. Okay. Okay. It's door opening time, I guess. Can do this really however we want, I think. We'll do it 19 so that someone has something to shoot for. Realistically, I need to move a decent amount here too. It's kind of the problem with this character is that I'm like, where do I go? Like 1, 2, 3. I'm always going to be just a bit too far behind, you know? Struggles to keep up. Okay, let's take a look.
The earth.
So what is he immune to? Oh, he's not immune to either, actually. So poison's good against him, and so is wound. But what's he doing? 1, 2, 1, 2, and he's going to attack 2 and 3. Yeah, I don't think I can... I mean, I could engage him, but it seems a bit pointless right now. So I think I'd probably just stay put for now. I don't make the ice, which is annoying. Nah. We'll keep that guy going out. Foul Remedy, it's a nice and easy one. Definitely this guy back. Can absolutely need him to now we've got the push, right? Now we've got the push open to us, so I think that's what we probably do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push him this way. I don't think if there's a way that I can push him through multiple traps, but I don't think so. I think pushing him this way is good because it kind of pushes him towards my team, which I think is just better right now. Because then we could try and do something like this Venomous Barb's turn, which we're trying to make work, but it's just so bad. Yeah. That'll work okay. And then you probably want to get another skeleton out. Of course. Of course we do. What's that ability? If ice is strong or waning, consume it. Oh, that's not very nice. You're definitely going to lose that then. Not our best attacks. We won't use advantage yet. Actually, do I just push him straight flat back this way? Kind of a better one. I suppose I could have put it there. He's going to probably walk onto it. And then we could then use Frozen Fist. Might have been better. Oh, the Geminator is going to come out of this with like negative damage. Right, so we're swapping. Is there anything that I actually could really use element-wise to have a nice turn? Nope. Fire. I guess fire. Let's just get fire. Because we're going to be losing it anyway. Yes. Okay. So, Flow of the Black River to just get a bit of a heal going, shall we? Or we could just do a massive approach Oblivion here, which is maybe for the best, actually. Or we do we use Approach Oblivion to trigger a nice Exploding Corpse. That's also something we could do. Should be easy to dispatch him. Yeah, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Not too worried about this one. We're going to use fire, weren't we? Fire. Or if we're doing a big heal here, yeah, then we'll definitely do the Exploding Corpse play. Big heal. And then attack for 2 or something. Boring. Yeah, maybe. Ooh. Trying to pinch my fire? Trying to pinch my fire, buddy? You're welcome, Pickle. Oh, shoot. Yeah, they can't get in. Did not think that one through. Hang on. Do I have... Oh, I don't. Did not think that one through. Maybe we are doing this then. It's a nice amount of heals. Yeah, I'll just trigger this so that... Oh no, let's not do that. Let's just get out of the way. Ultimately, my job here as a Bone Shaper is done. I've done everything that I could ever possibly want to do. Could do a load of big burns. Why not? do we want to do? I think we want to probably do like... I mean, we could push him again, couldn't we? Oh, we'd have to short rest for that, though. Oh, the brittle. The brittle and one with the mountain, the way that interacts is painful. Oh, we've got it. We've got it. I mean, I don't know how great it really is. It's like, oh, we're going to do 3 damage. Woohoo. But it's going to happen. Either that or we just attack. This should be easy from here, but I'm kind of, I might be like just throwing. I might just be throwing here. He's not even attacking. Beautiful. Exactly what I always wanted. Get an instance where a summon with a name move 2 is in a scenario when opening a door. Triggered a minus 1 move to all move abilities for you and your allies. The summon spent the last 6 turns surrounded by a sea of difficult terrain. It was a burn summon too. Yikes. So did it only have like 1 move then? It had like a movement value of 1? Oh, I guess it had a movement value of 2 and then the minus 1 move debuff. Yikes. My battle goal? Oh, I've lost track of my battle goals. Yeah. Was that the Rambler one? Yeah. I feel like I'll be retiring these characters very soon. No, anyway. Skip here. Go for the short rest. Nah. Sure. Get in with the bone dagger. Bloody immobilize. We're in the wrong form, I suppose. Yeah, we are. Well, long resting here is probably pretty decent, to be honest. Short rest here, I think.
Has football begun yet?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, Lothar. It has. Well, it hasn't until Thursday. But in terms of, yeah. NFL season kicks off on Thursday. And it's Eagles Cowboys. And I think that's going to be an absolute drubbing. I think on Friday morning there's going to be like a funeral for the Cowboys season, 2025 season already. I'm calling it. Thank you so much for the resub as well, buddy. 32 months. The quest continues, my friend. Hope you're doing awesome. But that's what I think. I think the season is over on Friday. Go Pats. Not a Pats fan myself. Patriots were one of those kind of teams that I absolutely despised when I was getting into the NFL because, of course, they had Tom Brady and the whole dynasty thing. Now I hate the Chiefs. Like, the Patriots have been, like, not great for long enough that I'm kind of like, okay, the hatred has gone down a little bit. But the now it's the Chiefs. And it would be the Eagles if it wasn't for the fact that, like, two of my best friends are Eagles fans. So I would feel, like, a little bit, like, you know, they get good times, you know? I'm okay with that. Still can't get there. Saquon's your fantasy running back. Is either going to take me to the promised land or screw me over? I think he'll be good again, Brian. I think he's going to be great again. I mean, I think it's hard to replicate last season, right? Like, that's crazy. He nearly broke, and he probably should have broke the record, the all-time season rushing record. He probably should have broken it. But instead, he was like selfless and was like, nah, do you know what? Don't worry about it. Let the, let like the second and third string guys get a go. Pretty crazy. Planet either loves or hates the Pats. No one's indifferent about the team. True. Rabid fan base. And it was either that or being a Jets fan. Yeah, I can see why you chose Pats. Is it me? Like, the New York teams to me... Like, the Jets fans are really, like, really passionate. But then, like, Giants fans are just kind of like... I don't know. New York, I think, is a weird city for sports. I don't get a... Because you have two teams, I don't really get a vibe for either one. Does that make sense? Got a good feeling about your Vikings this year? Well, as long as it's not on Monday night, Walter, we'll be fine. After Monday, sure. They can be good. Just come slow out of the gates, you know? If you feel it when the Eagles were playing, no work was being done. I was, when I went to PAX Unplugged, because they were doing well then, that year. And that's in the exhibition center, and it was the first time that I actually saw, like, buses and stuff were livered up with, like, Go Birds, like, on the, you know, where usually you'd have the name of the place the bus is going, it would be like Go Birds, just occasionally, and stuff like that, which I thought was pretty crazy, how much, like, the city was into it. That's the first time that's actually ever triggered. Oh no, that's probably stopped me from being able to get XP. I just did that for fun. Alright, easy wins. What point are we winning this area? Yeah, we win. 7 in the NHL, Rangers fans are mad. Islanders fans can't be asked. Yeah, I find it so weird. I just find New York teams weird. Oh, we did do it. I mean, we're retiring now, but we did it. When the Eagles win, the city burns. Yeah, when they win, the city burns. When they... What happens when they lose? I mean, they just get upset.
Rip it. Wow.
Because, like, the Eagles... They've sucked. Like, they've gone through a fair bit of inconsistent play. I do feel like as a franchise, they seem to have done... They have, like, their ups and downs, but they do have a lot of ups. You know, they do... When they're good, they're good. They don't seem to struggle with that. Whereas, you know, they're like... Me being a Bears fan, it's like, okay, we were good at one time, but we still only got one Super Bowl out of it. You know? No, this isn't right. Look, it's supposed to have been delivered to Jinder. I can't sell this here. Zane stamping his feet and ineffectively calling after the Quattro mail carrier as she departs. A new shipment of goods has just arrived, boxes piled high. He spots your party entering the trading post tent and immediately looks for sympathy. Can you believe this? I have to run this whole place by myself, and they can't even get my shipments right. I'm short-staffed as it is. There's some decent things I can move, but see this? Swimsuits in Frosthaven. Crates and crates of them, but what am I supposed to do with them? He pulls a covering off a cage, revealing a rainbow bird inside. A parrot? Bwak. Squabbles is here. Pleased to meet you. Bwak. Zane looks anything but amused. A talking parrot? Great. Zane sighs. Well, let me know if you want to buy anything. I'm doing buy one, get 5 free on leather sandals this week. Protect the pass. The crater is as lively as you've seen it all season. You signal for a drink as you push through the customers and make your way to the table at the back, where the Quattro Tinkerer, Pinter Drummond, fiddles with a small spherical gadget. Deep in thought, you sit down, interrupting his trance. Oh, hello again. Thank you for coming. Very exciting news to share. The boisterous Quattro tears his focus from the trinket. We are on the next phase of our little shortcut through the mountains. A big portion of the path needs to pass under a dangerous overhanging cliff. The work crew is already installing pylons to support the cliff and hold back the rock wall, but... He hesitates. It seems our path inadvertently cuts too close to Algok's territory, and they're not taking kindly to our construction project. He raises his hand, cutting off the expected suggestion. Diplomacy isn't an option, I'm afraid. The Tinkerer sighs. The Algoks who are attacking belong to a group of bandits, the Horns of Ruin, they call themselves, and they are exclusively interested in destroying and looting our hard work. There's a big attack coming, and the project is in a very vulnerable state. I need you to go protect the pylons we've installed. If you can stop them, it might buy us enough time to get the whole structure pieced together. Once that happens, it will be nearly impossible to destroy. New quest, pylon problem. Must construct additional pylons.
Born from a schism in the Harrower.
It's an old meme, but it checks out.
Internal conflict manifests itself outwardly as two forms competing for control. Sitting across the table from you is a Harrower who became a Geminate just moments ago under interrogation for murder. Half of the being rejected the other half for the crime they committed.
Oh no.
A Geminate can be confused for weeks or even permanently following a split, and Mayor Suther has requested your assistance in getting a confession. Problem is, they've already confessed. Sort of. The left portion of the Harrower says,
I am the murderer.
The right portion of the Harrower says,
I did not kill him.
You're about to lock them both up when you hear a cough from the corner of the room. An Esther, Translucent except for an odd hunting cap speaks up.
Oh, don't mind me. Just observing today. Answer's quite simple. One of them and only one is definitely the murderer. Would it help you if I told you at least one of these two are lying?
Oh, it's this riddle again. Like, they've used this riddle multiple times, and it's a pretty, I think it's a pretty famous kind of riddle. Okay, so one of them is lying. So the left portion of the arrow is saying, I am the murderer. The right portion says, I did not kill him. Ugh. I can't remember like the logic here. The left portion of the arrow says, I am the murderer. The right portion says, I did not kill him. Did not kill him. How does he know it was a him? Aha. How do you know it was a him? Half of the being rejected the other half for the crime they committed. So, if, I mean, he says, I am the murderer, and the Geminate is technically one and the same. So, yeah, I think it's the right side. I did not kill him because you're lying, because how do you know it was a him? Would be my reasoning, but I don't think it did. Harrow is one being, they did it as what? Exactly. So if this guy says I am the murderer as in as a whole, I am the murderer, and then the right person said I didn't do it, the left side did it. But the left side's like, oh yeah. It's the right side, I think. I mean,
You realize that if one of them is lying, they both must be lying. That means the right portion of the harrower is the half being rejected for their murderous drives. You summon the guards accordingly.
okay, that wasn't how I got there, but that's fine.
Another mystery solved with the help of Detective Elsewhere. I'm sure they'll be more complex in the future. Of course, the real trick will be separating the two, but I'll leave you to it.
With that, he steps into a rift and is gone.
What? You realize that if one of them is lying, they both must be lying. Oh, whatever. It's normally best to see the opposite of one statement as if they're the ones lying and see if the statements contradict each other, since the other would have to be telling the truth. Yeah. But then this thing says that you realize that if one of them is lying, they both must be lying. Which wasn't the reasoning that I used. But I guess we got the right result. We got that lovely morale we can now spend on blesses if we want to. Okay, ready for retirement. No. Oh, we leveled up though. New perks. Feels like we probably should have done inoculation way earlier. I wonder if there's any negative effects for the ones we're about to do, like for our retirement stuff. Um, replacing seems fine. The person was murdered, so piracy both cannot be lying, but why the heck would you lie and say you killed someone? Yeah, I guess that's the other way of doing it. I was trying to like Inspector Crusoe. Aha! We never said that it was a male. Gotcha. No, skip malediction. Should be it's more fun. More fun. New cards, level 5. We're getting there, chat. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Stitched Atrocity. Okay. 8 health, move 2, attack 3. Causes wound. Costs us 2 to do it, but it's a single-use summon. But it's a very good single-use summon. Well, very good, I guess. The move 2 is a little bit restrictive. As we were discussing earlier, that move 2, if it gets debuffed or difficult terrain turns up, could end up being kind of rubbish. 98 initiative, pretty standard for a summon. The bottom is a heal 3 at range 2. Consume earth to make it a heal 4 at range 3. Which is actually a very nice heal. Solid Bones. All summoned shambling skeletons have +1 health, +1 move, PS1. Oh! There it is. There it is. And then the bottom is move 4. Create earth. I mean, why would we even care? I mean, it's got to be Solid Bones, right? I mean, it's Solid Bones. Has to be. This is the go wide strat. This is it. It's finally paid off. I mean, I guess the +1, you know, I mean, the pierce is probably the most important thing, and the move. To be fair, the health is like whatever at this stage because they're just dying anyway. But it might, you know, might stick around a little bit longer. But really, I think it's the move and the pierce that's really gonna make the difference here. Solid Bones is great for Skilly Build. Yeah, absolutely. It's a really nice bottom ability on this though. Like it's a vanilla ability, but you know, if you wanted to go like earth kind of consumption stuff, it's a very good generator. But yeah, Solid Bones is the slam dunk easy pick because this is the build that we're playing, so that is not a difficult pick. And now though, we will have to get rid of something. So we're probably going to get rid of Fell Remedy, even though I quite like it. Ooh, actually, maybe not. Could get rid of Approach Oblivion now, because really, with the extra movement, perhaps we don't really care. We just kind of let them do their own thing. Sure. I think the problem that I have is the Exploding Corpse just really hasn't done much for me, because it's hard to get them into a decent position. And also it burns a card, which I don't really love. Malicious Conversion's a bit meh as well. Maybe we should just rejig our cards in general here a little bit. Obviously, we're going to be playing with these. So I need a way to maybe get... I don't know a way to get Bone Dagger to work a bit better. Dark Tidings is fine. No. I hate this like UI thing that happens here. I don't know how you make it go away. Oh yeah, there you go. Wrath of the Turned Earth. No. No. I mean, malicious conversion is probably the way to go. I just feel like exploding corpse a lot of the time doesn't really do anything. But maybe we look by initiative. That's equipped. Yeah, it's kind of like one of our best early initiatives though. So it kind of feels like we need to keep it. And it is very good when it's good, it's great. Let's just leave it. HP with the shield ropes can keep scaling up longer. True. Yeah. You ever played the board game? Are all the unlocks similar to the Snowflake Fist unlock? No, Tojo. No. There's a kind of a mix. So you get some like that are introduced kind of... There's a few that are introduced in that way. Kind of like as... kind of they join your party as you progress the story. There's a few along the way that happens with. And then there's some you get traditionally, like retiring, and you can get them, like kind of like in Gloomhaven. There's a few like that. And then there's also a few that are triggered off of... I'm trying to like choose my words carefully here. Through just campaign progression, like I suppose I can say outpost progression. Well, UI improvements were like over Gloomhaven, like we finally got to sort the cards and see all the cards up to the last level. Yeah. This might be a little bit of like an unpopular opinion, possibly, but I think I don't love the art on all of the individual cards. The more I've played, the more I've actually found it just to take up space. Like at first I really liked it because I was like, cool, it's like it just gives the card a little bit more flavor, which I think is great. But then the more I've played, the more I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, I know what it does. Like, this image is kind of like just there and it's taking up space. I do like being able to sort the cards by initiative, by level and stuff. There needs to be a few more ways to sort here. There needs to be class-specific ways to sort. Say, for example, here, there absolutely needs to be a button to sort between left and right. I know that's a bit, you know, that's like literally creating a button for one class, but there really does need to be. Or if you were to do it by like level, it actually goes by like actual like level. Do you know what I mean? Instead of like thinking it through. That would be really handy. Image is superfluous. Yeah, I do think so. Like as I've played, the more I've played. I think initially I really liked it, and I thought it was a nice way of kind of incorporating, because in the physical game they kind of have these like shadow boxes right underneath the abilities. They're a bit hard to see, but they kind of just lift the cards a little bit more for each class. You'd want element consumption creation category. That's an interesting one, Justin. Some way of kind of like looking at, yeah, sorting like what creates elements and stuff like that. That could be interesting. In general, compared to like Gloomhaven, I think they've done I do think they've done a better job of the kind of overall party screen is better. Like, you know, managing multiple mercenaries, jumping backwards and forwards, that works really well now. And it wasn't necessarily bad in Gloomhaven, but I think it is just a little bit easier. I quite like that if you go here, you just go edit, you got everything that you want. And if I'm in hand management, I can then just jump to hand management on all of them without, you know, messing around, like cards, each one of them, right? So if you're like leveling up multiples, you can kind of just go bang, 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 bang. Do this like one by one. That's like nice. I don't, one thing I don't really like, but I understand why they've done it, is the iconography changes to try and make it make a little bit more sense. Like for example, regenerate. I think they've changed regenerate. They've changed brittle. There's a couple that they've changed. Yeah, so like brittle, they've changed. A few there that I'm not a fan of, because I feel like we're just... It might make it a little bit easier for people who haven't played the board game, but I think that a large majority of the people playing your game have played the board game. So therefore, I think, is it easier to have new players just learn the language than it is to make everybody learn a new language? Does that make sense? Hey, Sean. Enhancements in digital, not yet. No. Unless I haven't unlocked the hut yet. Go and have a look. Might be a good. That might be a good. That might be a good time to go and have a look. Actually, don't think you can get it. Unless it comes in at a higher outpost level that I haven't got to yet. I don't think so. Oh, we're going to have a look at max level trading posts. I think it was like level 2. Anything interesting? Oh, chainmail. But I think that was already there. Nimble lead guard. When an adjacent ally would be targeted by an attack, you are targeted instead. Whoa. That's just permanent? That feels like... Hang on a minute. That feels like it could be abused. Like, this is super good for, like, retaliation stacking and... I mean, granted that maybe your ally could just, like, remember how to play with focus, but that can be difficult. It's interesting that it's like a legs item as well. I mean, the problem with leg items is you're always going to compete with +1 movement or +2 movement, you know? And I think that that's always a difficult thing to compete with, because so many classes just struggle to just line up, you know, get in the right place with just an extra move. But I really like this. Seems like a cool... Like, this is the kind of item I'm like, maybe I could build around this in some way. Shackles loves that. I haven't played Shackles. Coral 2. Do I think digital will add in the new bonus classes like Hail and Sapphire? Yeah, to be honest, I do think that's... I think Hail's maybe more difficult. Well, having said that, her mechanic is really just to be on her own, which is kind of like a game state that is monitored already, right? Because you have battle goals that are around about, you know, not ending your turn next to allies and stuff like that. So the game kind of checks for those things anyway. So potentially Satho is actually... Not Satho, sorry, Hail is possible. Satha has like quite simple mechanics from memory, so I think, yeah, that would be fine. We talked a little bit about, like, I think the devs are very conscious they want to try and put Gloomhaven 2nd edition characters in. Like, that's really heavily requested. So you might see something like that. I mean, the mercenary packs would be a really nice, quick add-on for them, though. But I guess the at the end of the day, it's going to come down to how well the game sells and how well the game does. Because as much as the devs might be like up for it, if the game doesn't sell enough and the market's not there, then it won't be done. You like dancing slippers? Oh, we don't have them. Right. Armor Bane Bow. During your turn, add PS3 to all your ranged attacks. Very nice. Crafting. Anything cool? Soothing Scepter. That's nice. Yeah, you play that like at the right time. That's a lot of healing. Corrupted Blade. That's so good. We've definitely got some good items now. Oh, Dancing Slippers. Here we go. After you suffer damage from an attack before move 2. Yeah, because it kind of allows you to like move away. Kind of. Yeah, I like that. Also, if you... Yeah, that's... Also, I guess if you go kind of late, sometimes you can kind of position yourself. It allows you to play maybe aggressively somewhat. You chuck a £10 at the mercenary packs. Yeah, I mean, pricing will be interesting to see. Like Jaws of the Lion, they did all of Jaws of the Lion, so that was four classes and all of the scenarios, and I think that was what, 15 from memory, something like that. But that, I guess, different devs. To be fair, different devs. So, heavy chain armor. Whenever you suffer damage from an attack, gain shield 3 for the attack. You see, I feel like armor is really hard to... Like, it's so hard to stack. Because let's be honest, like, you'd... How often does this trigger? I mean, it's just better than crude. But it's only one charge, so... Chain Hood, while you're adjacent to 3 or more enemies, gain shield. Now that's good, because it's just persistent. It's just done. That's great. You bought the mercenary packs and played them and do not regret it at all. Nice. I'm planning on picking them up at like a convention. Probably. Still kind of Essen is kind of out there right now as maybe something I'd be interested in doing. I'm keeping the door open to Essen. But if not, it'll be UK Games Expo. I'll probably pick them up. My plan is to kind of play a good amount of second edition, hopefully, before that. So then when I introduce them, I'll be kind of like, you know, I'll be interested to play them. Because at the moment, I feel like I just want to focus on the changed characters. Like, just sort of looking at second edition as a single total thing. Heavy Chain Armor was really good, especially in the higher levels. You were skeptical at first, but it was better than you expected after using a couple of scenarios. Just your thoughts. Well, I guess if you were using crude chain armor, it's just basically a better version. I guess this would kind of catch... If you're playing like a tanky tank, then I guess it would kind of catch those you know, times 2s and things like that. But then you'd probably be using something like Chain Hood or Crude Helmet or something like that, wouldn't you? Anyway. Anything else interesting? The well-strung bow. Not really. Okay. Let's have a look at upgrading, shall we, before we do anything. Let's upgrade the hunting lodge. Can we upgrade the hunting lodge? Don't have enough lumber. What? Excuse me? 6. I guess we are upgrading the logging camp then. Everything from him, because we are about to retire. Got a lot of metal here, huh? Nice. Right, level 2 logging camp. I think that's probably it. Probably can't do the wall. No. Probably about it. How does this game work? It's quite a complicated game. Zivi. I don't know if you've played Gloomhaven before. So the kind of the first game in the series is called Gloomhaven. You can look it up. Gloomhaven Digital. It's available on Steam, Epic Games, usual places. But essentially, it's kind of like a it's a tactical kind of RPG. I don't really like to use the term RPG often because it is a very tactical game. You can buy buy items and upgrade, and you level up, and so it has elements of RPGs in it, but it's not like when I think of an RPG, I think that you have like lots and lots of like flexibility and freedom, which you don't necessarily have as much here, because each character kind of improves in a mostly linear way, although some characters you can play it slightly differently. But essentially, yeah, it's like you kind of manage your group of mercenaries. It's like you go on adventures, you go on missions. There's a story. You're building out your the outpost here. You're trying to kind of get a foothold in this frozen world of Frosthaven. Yeah, and there's loads of different classes. So one of the biggest things that people like about the game is the classes, because each of the classes are completely unique. They have their own set of cards that you play. So a completely different set of actions, and that's the draw, I think, for a lot of people, is the different classes and characters. Turn-based tactical RPG dungeon crawlers, how you shortly explain it. Yeah, it's kind of difficult because I've never liked the comparison I absolutely hate, and I hear people say it, and they used to say it a lot for Gloomhaven, is, oh, it's Dungeons and Dragons in a box. Oh, it's Dungeons and Dragons, the board game. I'm like, it absolutely is not that by any stretch of the imagination, in my opinion. So it's like chess, a little bit like chess, more forgiving than chess. But yeah, like if you like the idea of trying to plan out turns and try and counter your opponent a little bit, and you like that kind of puzzly element of these types of games, like tactical dungeon crawlers, where there's kind of more of a puzzly element going on, like you absolutely can play. You can learn how to get better and play really well. And the RNG, there is a little bit of RNG, but the RNG is relatively low compared to games of this style. So it's quite deterministic. So if you like puzzles and you like those kind of games where the light bulb goes on and you figure it out and you can have a really strong turn, and be rewarded for it, The Haven games are great for that. They really are. Closest comparable you can think of is Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem, I've heard some people say like Final Fantasy Tactics as well. Banded that around a little bit. I think it's quite a unique game. I haven't got a ton of inspiration from D&D, but if you tell a D&D player it's like D&D, they're going to hate it when they play it. Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's D&D in the sense that, like, there's, you know, I guess some of the events, some of the monsters, some of the kind of general world building in that kind of fantasy setting. Yeah, and like, for example, if you like, oh, I want to play a berserker because you play D&D and you like to play a berserker, there's a berserker in Gloomhaven. If you wanted to play, you know, oh, I want to play a necromancer, there's a necromancer. She's called the Bone Shaper. You know, there are those kind of like classes that you know, like, oh, I want to play a paladin. There is a paladin in Gloomhaven. So I would say my recommendation will always be to play Gloomhaven first, rather than Frosthaven. Because Frosthaven is more complicated, it adds on extra layers. Like the classes aren't like, they're a little bit less traditional because they've kind of already done the traditional classes in Gloomhaven. So a lot of the classes are kind of a bit wild. So for people who love Gloomhaven, Frosthaven is like the natural step because everything's just amped up a little bit more. It's like they just turn the dial up. But that also means that it's a much harder game to just get into right from the get-go. So, yeah, if you want to play the video game, starting place would always be Gloomhaven Digital. If you wanted to play the board game, because this is a conversion of a board game, if you wanted to play a board game, then Jaws of the Lion is where you should start. Cool. I think we have to retire, guys. It's that day. We leveled up and everything. I mean, we can at least talk about the cards, I suppose. So, level 4. We've got the Mountain's Fist and Packed Solid. So, the Mountain's Fist, attack 3, consume ice to make it attack 5. Gain an experience point. If the attack ability killed an enemy, we get to heal for 3. That's a really, really nice ability for us with the heal in the end, just to kind of keep us going infinite, if you like, or trying to go infinite. Yeah, that's a really good ability. Plus, it doesn't really need us to do anything, whereas some of the other ones for like big attacks are like, hey, they have to be on icy terrain, they have to do this, that, and the other. It's a very easy condition to make, right? So easy for us to just, yep, create ice, go and hit something. Incredibly easy for us. And it creates earth as well, which will combo nicely into some of our other like heal abilities on like future turns. We've got to move 4, and then we got immobilize, all within range 1. So kind of like a keep them close type card. Very good if we were playing the more tanky build of this character, I would say, or if we were trying to really get that retaliate damage and things like that going up that this character can do. So move 4 is a lot of movement as well. So to be honest, just as a 16 initiative, move 4 is pretty good. Like you play 16 initiative, move 4. Everything else is kind of gravy on top. But I think what I would probably want to do is I'd want to play the top of this, and I'd want to use my I can't remember the name of the card, but the other one that does something very similar to this, but not quite as good or as easy. And that's got the move 4 jump. What was that called? Let's get back quickly. Encase Punch, right? So we would use this for the move, and then we would use the other one for the punch. Yeah, very good. Pack Solid, attack 4, consume earth to add stun and 1 XP. That is pretty huge. I mean, stun is the best thing you can do in the game. In terms of a negative condition that you can apply, it is the best thing you can possibly do. It is on a weird initiative, 55. It's going to be hard to recover this card because of it being a level 4 card as well, I would suggest. That makes it quite tricky. Cost us what? It's going to cost us like... Is it 4 health? How warm am I? Is it going to be 4 health? Damage 2 plus... Yeah, the level divided by 2. Yeah, so there's going to be 4 health to recover it. So that's pretty rough. Very strong ability, though. I guess we don't... At least the way I've been playing so far, I'm not consistently making Earth enough, maybe, to make it really worthwhile. The bottom of this is Shield 1, Retaliate 1, and Create Earth, which is decent, but I would say pretty underwhelming outside of using, you know, another being a proper tank. Again, 55 initiative is not great for this. You'd need to pair it with something with a high initiative to get this out early. So I think the Mountain's Fist is where I'm at, guys. I think it just seems like it would be a really nice way of doing it. I mean, I'm retiring my character anyway, but if I was picking a card here, like if this did matter, I think I'm leaning towards the Mountain's Fist. We've also already taken the Disarm, right? So because we've kind of already got Crushing Crystals, this is like our kind of our CC, if you like. This is our kind of the way we're going to handle difficult enemies if we need to. And this is how we kill them. So, you know, there's a little bit of redundancy there of going, okay, wait, disarm, then we get a stun. Like, I do feel like this is probably the better way to go. Rounding down, so 4 HP, yeah. It's a lot of health to get up. Like, you got to think about, like, am I going to be able to consistently reoccur these cards? Well, if this gets me 3 health, then yes. Like, out of these 2 cards, which one has got the higher chance of being, you know, recoverable? The Mountain's Fist, easily. You went Draw of the Bedrock for tanking. So you went for like the tanking build. So that would be, you would use the top, I guess, to do an attack 2 and shield. And then you would use the... But again, you're going to have to be in a... You'd have to be right up next to him, wouldn't you? I guess it's nice if you have the ice, though. You had Shackles, your prices switched up. Okay. That's a bit Shackles, huh? So from my perspective, I think the card, the kind of quote-unquote correct card for me to pick here would be the Mountain's Fist. Because it's just going to be a reliable way of doing damage. It's going to give me health. It's going to be recoverable. Pack solid. I think, unless I was to also change some of my other cards to make the Earth element a little bit easier, I'd have to completely change my playstyle up, basically, to accommodate this. Whereas this is very nice. And I already have cards, right, that can use the Earth. Like Lacerating Eruption and stuff. So, yeah. This is definitely like the kind of aggressive play, I would say, and this is probably the defensive play. So depending on how you're doing it, I think I'll go Man's Fist. Perks. I mean, again, these don't really matter too much. We're just kind of trying to ensure that we do a good amount of damage, aren't we, really? I mean, getting rid of the -1s seems like a good idea. Oh, I should have gotten sure. I should have probably have got sure footing at some point, right? Or have I already got? I have got sure footing. Yeah. Probably should have at some point. It's good health and regular earth, which you use to draw the bedrock for brittle. Oh yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Well, I think it's time to retire. It's time to say goodbye. That means we have to get a new character. Oh, I should thingy their potions. Let's do that quickly. Ooh, nearly. I was thinking, what else do I need to do here? I need to ensure that I distill their potions. Because they will disappear. Where's the distill? Am I going mad? Alchemist. Am I going crazy? Double click. Oof. I felt like there needs to be like that needs improvement. I think we've got the axe nut, right? We do need one axe nut. Oh, we actually do need 2 of those to do these potions as well. So maybe we will go for that. Hey, son. How's it going, buddy? I think everything else will just automatically get sold back anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Goodbye, Braun. We loved you. Now it's retirement. I love the way that I've gotten close to that inspiration, but I've never quite got there. 13. I am retiring. Okay. Is that it? I didn't even get a little blurb? Oh. Well, I guess we're on to... Who have we played so far? A Blink Blade. Do I want to play Drifter? Do I honestly want to play Drifter? I play so much Drifter. He does kind of quite nicely just fill that role, though. You know? He just quite comfortably sits into that role. Maybe we play Bannerspear, because we've actually got summons sticking around. So maybe like Bannerspear plus summons is going to be fine. It's probably the right kind of time. Ooh, new button. Class mechanics. That's new. Bonnie. It's Bonnie, or we already had Bonnie? Beryl. That's a word. That's a name. Collect 5 different types of herbs. Sure. Okie dokie. Whoa. Pickle with the 5 gifted. Thank you so much, buddy. That is incredibly kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. Welcome, all new people, to the adventuring party. If you were lucky enough to get a sub, make sure to thank Pickle. So, Miwazin, Rickles, Swordy, Yaditz. Move my head. No. Ixa. Make sure to thank Pickle. That's incredibly kind of them. Thank you so much. That's really, really kind. Thanks to keep me company on my 42nd year of life. Oh, you might just be, you might just be the oldest person on Twitch. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I think Oxy's maybe Oxy's got a run for you, give you a run for your money. And Sun as well. Thank you guys. Wow. Did not expect this on a Wednesday. Thank you so much. That's incredibly kind from you as well, Sun. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you did get a sub from Sun, make sure to thank him. That is incredibly kind. Mala, Stozen. My head's blocking the way again. Just on you. Umbras. Thank you, thank you, thank you, dude. That's a birthday hype. Yeah. Everyone celebrate Pickle's birthday. That's awesome. Hiding away with COVID and 800 to be off for a locksmith. This one has been a bit mean this last year. Ooh. Yeah, I thought my last year's been crazy. I felt a little bit older this year, for sure. Like, I felt a little bit older. You know, like when you just don't quite bounce back like you used to. That's been me this year. I'm not too bad. Like 36, so, you know. 36 and a half. You get to that stage when you're like, I had a meeting, like, for the local American football team that I play. I had a meeting with some of the players because our season finished. We just missed out on playoffs. We lost, like, our final game. It was like a winning in. So, and we're all getting a little bit older now. Like, the kind of core group of players are getting a little bit older. And a few of us are kind of like, we got one more season in us, you know? We got one more season in us. We've got to get to playoffs. We've got to get to playoffs next year. So we're having like a bit of a powwow, like on how we do that. Like, we need to recruit some younger players to kind of prop us up. But we've got to get to playoffs. Like, we all just want to end, like, potentially our playing careers by playing playoffs. So even if we don't get promoted, like, we just want a playoff game. Oh, wow, so the whole year? I was very lucky. I never got COVID during the actual kind of, when it actually kind of came out, was launched, you know? I didn't get it the first time around. I actually ended up getting it, like, over a year later, when it was, like, kind of, like, boring to get it. Like, no one cared. You know, I was like, oh, I have COVID. Like, oh, okay, well, you just can't come into work. I was like, yep. I didn't even feel that bad. I had just, like, kind of like just a bit of a bad cold. Like, one day was kind of bad, and then the rest of it was just kind of like just a bit fluey and a bit cold. And so, and I'd had all of my shots by then too, so it was quite surprising. I'd had like 3 shots by then. Yeah, I got it when it was distinctly uncool to get it. Got COVID, stayed on and off sick for the next 8 months, and suddenly got pneumonia. Wow. Well, good to have you here with us, dude. That sounds kind of scary. Especially around that time when you hear all these stories, you know? COVID 3 times is impressive. I've knowingly had it once, like where I was like, I don't feel well. And that was that time. I was like, I don't feel very well. I should test. And I tested, it was positive. But, like, you know, they were saying that there was quite a lot of people who got it but didn't have any symptoms or had very mild symptoms. You know, like around the time. I felt like, well, maybe something like I had the sniffles or whatever, like nothing too bad. Daughter started secondary and now an old man. That's nice though. Secondary means that you kind of, you know, she's kind of got her own thing going on a little bit now as well, you know. Oh, no, we probably do want some items. I'm trying to remember what items I get. Well, I'll definitely get heat shield. I can't remember if we bothered to get wing shoes or not. I feels like we probably do get wing shoes, but like... Do we not have like... Can we just check? Do we not have a jump? Or am I getting confused with the Blink Blade? I think I'm getting confused with Blink Blade. Oh yeah, we definitely get jump boots then. We definitely get jump boots. Hang on. Hang on, what? 15. 15. Is this a bug? Chat, have we found an exploit? Or is this just because I'm a higher level? Oh, it's probably because I'm a higher level. It's like... It's probably because it's like you get extra gold, right? Because of the levels. Oh, I don't know. Poison dagger? I don't want any of these other items, really. Fine. You try to get into America while we bounce out every time. You'll have a very passionate Blood Bowl player of over 30 years. Perhaps there's just not enough killing in real American football for you then, son. That could be the reason. Rugby league is for real warriors. I do like rugby. I mean, I got into NFL more so than rugby. Like, obviously, growing up in the UK, I played a lot of rugby. You know, it's like a mandatory sport. Just like a mandatory quest. It was a mandatory quest in secondary school, or it was for me at least. I think nowadays maybe it's not that isn't the case. But back when I was coming through school, we had to play rugby. It was like one of our winter sports. So, football, rugby were pretty much football in the summer, rugby in the winter. That's pretty much it. That's good pickle. That's nice. Not enough chainsaws. That must be it. Probably. Chainsaws and mechs, orcs. What else do they have? I tried playing I did play Blood Bowl a little bit, like the PC game. Blood Bowl, is it 2 or 3? I don't know what one they're on now. I know that the latest Blood Bowl that they released on digital was like panned when it came out, like it was bad. So they basically cut all of the features out of it. So everyone was just like, well, we're just gonna play like the one before. Currently on 3. 2 is the great one. Yeah, 2 is the one I played. I wasn't very good. I think the problem with that I always had with Blood Bowl is I was never very good with sequencing my actions. I was got a bit too excited. You know. I never really learnt effective ways of kind of taking your turns. Because of course you want to kind of do like your kind of safe things first, right? And then you save your risky stuff for later, because then obviously if you fail, then it's a turnover or whatever, or it goes over to the other person's turn. So I was like, oh. Should we go for meat grinder here, or should we go for pinning charge? What do we think from card selection? I personally quite like the idea of just going meat grinder and just going kind of a little bit like go for it. Although, to be fair, the bottom of pinning charge is potentially one of the best ways to create formations, right? Kind of is. Like, it could potentially just be free. I mean, it's 2 move as well, so it kind of just... It's an all-purpose card. I don't really like the top, though, particularly. I think it tops just fine. You prefer range, but you probably are the tank. Yeah, I feel like I am the tank. Well, the skeletons are kind of the tanks too, right? We're kind of doing sharing responsibilities. But yes, you're right. I will probably be the next one up when they're all dead. Oh, there's actually a change in rules. Blood Bowl 2 was 2016, Blood Bowl 3 is 2020. Interesting. 2020 rules have a lot of issues, but you think almost everyone agrees it's the best rules we've ever had. I mean, have they fixed Blood Bowl 3? Or is it still just in the... You know, it's still just... From what I could tell, it was like microtransaction led and like just all over the place. Cut content. Bugs. Just like... It was basically as bad a launch of a game. Especially like a game like that where... It's got such a dedicated fan base that was just lined up ready to go. It's a bit like when like Gloomhaven or Frosthaven launches, right? You just got a people in the wings who are just begging for it. And you know, they will take a slightly rough game, but if it doesn't fundamentally work with the rules, they're going to be so harsh. They're going to be like on it. You know, it's a very fine line to walk. Like they will support you if it's good, but if it fails, ooh. Oh, it works perfectly fine now, but it didn't work for 2 years. That's crazy. 2 years, and it wasn't even an early access launch from my memory. I think it was actually just like a full-blown launch, right? Mad. I think I'm going to go pinning charge, mainly because I like the idea of just trying to get like the formations working a little bit better for me. I've never been like, hands up, I'm not the best at the formations. And I think along with summons, this gives me a really good chance. So I think we'll go for pinning charge. Well, I think like in a vacuum, you would say Meat Grinder is the better card, but I think this is kind of like, ooh. And 17 initiative too. It's very nice. Perks. We definitely want to get not Iron Will. Gifted. We definitely want to get gifted. But we don't need to get it yet, technically. But we definitely do want gifted. But as we only get 1 perk, maybe we should get something else as our first perk. At the end of each of your long rests, grant 1 ally within range 3, move 2. It's pretty decent. Whenever you open a door with the move ability, add +3. That's very good. Once each turn during your turn, gain shield. Okay, yes, just give me. That's 2 perk points. Oof. Oh, I suppose it is for the round. Do I think that I'm going to get perks done before I get enough to be able to craft something? I guess is the point. Probably not. Maybe we should just get gifted because we're probably going to end up getting a few things to craft with before. Oh, I get 2 perks. Well, definitely get gifted then. -1. Shove. It's probably into the breach. I'm definitely going to be the door opener of this party, so. Maybe I need to check it out then, son. Like maybe now is the right kind of time to think about checking out Blood Bowl 3. Because I've been meaning to, but I mean my catalog of games to play right now is just insane. Like I feel like I'm in the worst state I've ever been in terms of games that I want to play. It feels like every week like a new carrot is being dangled in front of me, and I'm like, oh. So this past week I've been playing PoE 2 again because the new season dropped, and it is a very fun game. But I always worry with those games that I don't actually honestly have the time to give them. Like, I just don't. And that's always a little bit of a worry for me. Like, because I'll play them, I can play them for a week, but that will probably not even get me to the end of the campaign and into like the end game and all of that good stuff where, you know, a lot of people will say the real game begins. Head into the breach, work on multiple doors, and lead to a very mobile balance. But yeah, I guess most scenarios have doors in, right? I mean, there is the handful of ones that just don't have any doors. Blood Bowl is a full hobby in itself, and I ideally randos and I get super sorry. Yeah, it's like a miniatures game, isn't it? It's like people solely play Blood Bowl. Like, that is their game. Like, some people's game is Magic, some people's game is Pokemon or whatever, or like Blood Bowl. That is someone's. Like, that's their life game. Yeah, Warhammer, like just standard Warhammer, right? Right. We're definitely going to get Resolved Courage in. It's a very good card. We obviously need our new card in as well. Javelin's pretty safe. Rallying Cry is very good. Regroup. Maybe we get rid of Regroup. No, because grant 3 with an original 2. Move 2. I don't think we need so much grant, do we? But we want to use the top of combined effort. At all costs. It feels like you should just also include this because it's just so simple to just drop a summon and then use combined effort. Like, it's just free. But perhaps that's us being very lazy. Tip of the Spear, very good. Unbreakable Wall might be one we think about clearing out. Although it's very good for the... it's very good if we want to tank. What I want to do? Oh, we get rid of Deflecting Maneuver for sure. Deflecting Maneuver. Because we're tanking, but we're not like tanking that much. Movement on tip is amazing, but wall is the tank card, yeah. Because I don't want to go full tank. I think I'm going to drop out all costs. Yes, it's very simple, but it's just like, come on, we can play better, right? We can play better. Just get good. And we focus on just trying to hit like a decent, like, so this is gone, basically. Doesn't exist. Oh, a little mini card. So we're going to basically focus on hitting Rallying Cry, Pincer Movement top, Tip of the Spear top probably, Combined Effort top. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, yeah, we're not going to hit them every time, are we? I think Resolved Courage seems to be like quite an important one to try and hit. But anyway, I think that's enough, right? That's enough different sort of flavors. And we don't necessarily need the at all costs summon. I know it's a freebie, but it's just... I'm trying to challenge myself a little bit. Yeah. Looks good. Do we have... We don't have anything to craft with though, do we? Don't have any money. Don't have anything. Can't gift anything. Imagine if you could, like, transfer items and things. I mean, I guess we could craft maybe a potion. Do you have anything good? Renewing potion. 2 of your spent items. I mean, that will actually be quite good on her. Because we'll be able to get back, like... potentially just some, like, some armor items or something at a certain point. Have I actually ever done a unhealthy mixture? Can you even brew it? Research. This potion cannot be decomposed. Is that normal? I thought you could distill it. Well, I guess we've at least made it now. I guess we just wait. We just wait. Very good. Okay, well, I think that's probably a pretty good place to leave it for today. What we're planning to continue to do now is to kind of keep on going. Nice, we got a new side quest as well. We've never done this, so that's going to be nice. They changed those images. They look a bit different to me. But anyway, we got that. So we got a pylon problem to do. But ultimately, we are working towards sacred soil. That is what we're trying to do. And we need to do Raven's Roost and stuff. And I think that would be good to go do those. I mean, although those particular scenarios are arguably some of the most frustrating scenarios, I think, in Frosthaven. Maybe it was more so playing them physically that were annoying, but they are tricky scenarios. Pylons need movement. Interesting. Do we have a level 2 alchemist? I have... No, I think it's just a level 1, and it just maxes out. Like, they haven't given you multiple levels yet of the alchemist. So they obviously haven't included any potions that are 3 or more herbs. It's all... oh, no, sorry. That would be level 3, right? Alchemist is level... So level 1 is... Level 1 is just potions. Level 2 is distilling. Level 3, is that 3 herbs? Something like that. So I guess I'm a level 2 alchemist. But the star means that it's basically capped. So they obviously haven't added in the extra levels yet. All right. Awesome. Well, still cracking on. We've got not long, to be honest, until we might get some news about when the next kind of big patch is going to come out for this as well. Because it should be October time, which it's kind of frightening, but we are in September. We are in September already. God, this year is flying by. So we might get some news on that soon. I really think we might. Ooh.
Sun_Gnif gifted a tier 1 sub to Umbras.
So very confused as to why that replays. There you go.
Sun_Gnif gifted a tier 1 sub to Justanio.
Am I going to have to... Is that going to go on and on and on? Yep, it is. So good it plays it twice. Thanks again, son. It's so strange. I don't know why it does that, but when I change scenes, it just like, oh, we'll play all of the alerts again. We'll just play them all again. Perfect. Okay, well, yeah, I'm not quite sure when I'll be streaming next. Maybe later this week. I might be able to do a little stream on maybe Friday or Saturday, possibly. Next week I'm away with work, like the entire week, which kind of sucks. But I have to do it once in a blue moon, so it's not like super often. But I'm away all week, so next week streaming will be difficult. But yeah, we'll try and squeeze something in. Do I want mini pics on my Discord? Mini pics? What's mini pics? I like the idea of mini pics. Oh, pictures of minis. Oh, like, I thought it was like, I've heard of emotes. I've heard of, you know, what's a mini pics? Yeah, absolutely. I like minis. I always get jealous of people who can actually paint. I cannot paint. For the life of me. I mean, I put an earnest effort in to learn when I was trying to paint my Star Wars Imperial Assault. Because I really got sucked into that game. And it was like my first campaign game with my my board game group. And so I got really sucked into it. And I painted loads of stuff, and I spent so much time painting everyone's miniatures, and I think we played 3 sessions. But yeah. Where to post them? You can just post them in the general chat if you like. I'm sure people will be happy to see them. Either that or in one of the board game channels would also be fine. Excited for football comeback? Absolutely. I cannot wait. I'm a bit annoyed that I can't watch the Bears-Vikings game because I'm just going to be, so I'm going to be away with work, and it's going to be at 1 a.m. in the morning here, kickoff. So I'll have to watch the highlights over my breakfast. But again, because I'm away with work, I have a super early start, so that's going to be difficult as well. Yeah, so a little bit annoyed that I'm not going to enjoy like opening day live for the Bears, but I'm going to try and watch some games on Sunday for sure. I would definitely be watching the games on Sunday. NFC North is over this year, going to cannibalize the South. It's now that Micah Parsons has gone to the Packers. That was a very, I think that kind of because the thing with the Packers is that I thought, I was like, okay, like we can beat the Packers, right? And perhaps we all kind of like at the same kind of level. Maybe Detroit's a little bit further ahead, but I kind of figured that us, the Vikings, Packers, would all be kind of like, you know, somewhere in that kind of middle ground, and one of us would rise up to maybe get the get a wild card spot. But now that the Packers have committed to Micah Parsons, you know, they basically put all their cards on the table, and they obviously think that they are ready. So whereas I think the Bears are still kind of like, oh, whoa, let's give it one more year. Like, we need one more year to, like, let Ben Johnson sort of, like, cook and, you know, Caleb to get better and to learn and what have you. Like, we need a year. At least that's, like, the vibe that I'm getting from, like, our management. When you see management go for it, then it's kind of scary. So we'll see how that goes. It might end up being, like, a big nothing, you know? It's certainly a shoot for the moon type trade, so we'll see. Never forgive you guys for taking Ben Johnson from you. Yeah, I mean, I have like a whole conspiracy theory around that, like a huge conspiracy theory around Ben Johnson. My theory is that Ben Johnson always wanted to come to Chicago. Always. And he had his eye on the job for a while. And last season, going into the start of last season, there were talks between RGM, Ryan Pauls, and Ben Johnson, you know, feeling him out a little bit, like, hey, are you ready to be a head coach? Do you want to be a head coach? Seeing how he is. And there was this awkwardness where, because we weren't a terrible team the year before, right? You can't, it's a bit kind of like out of order to fire a coach when they've actually been dealt a pretty crappy hand and actually dealt with a pretty bad roster situation and actually done okay. And that was Matt Eberflus that previous year. You know, he probably hadn't done enough to get himself fired. And I think that they were talking about it, and he was like, well, I can't really fire Matt Eberflus because he's kind of like, it'd be a really like douche move. I can't do that. So, and Ben Johnson's like, well, you know, kind of got unfinished business here. You know, I'm quite happy to stay here. You know, I want to try and win the Super Bowl here, and I think we can do it. So I think that they honestly had a little bit of a handshake agreement after last year to be like, if things go south, you know, there will be a seat open for you. And I think they kind of knowingly knew it was going to go a little bit south, and they allowed it to go south so that Ben Johnson, they could fire Matt Eberflus, and then Ben Johnson could come in. Because I just like, because at the end of that Matt Eberflus season, a lot of fans were asking for him to be fired. Like a lot of fans were, a lot of them, and so obviously that was like a consideration, because he was kind of fine. A lot of people were like, he's fine. So the fan base was really split between Matt Eberflus and a new coach, and Justin Fields and Caleb Williams, or a new QB. So they were really split, and it could have gone either way. And I honestly feel like there was some closed room talks, discussions that happened there, and he went like, I'm going to draft Caleb to Ben. He's like, I'm going to draft Caleb, but we're going to have to give Matt Eberflus another like roll of the dice. And yeah, I mean, it's all worked out well now, but I honestly, that's my conspiracy. My conspiracy is that he was always going to be the head coach of the Chicago Bears. Always. And that's been the case for the last two years. But it was just about getting the timelines lined up properly, the narrative lined up properly, so that could actually happen. And I also believe that's one of the reasons why Ryan Pauls, despite having a pretty patchy track record, let's say, in terms of trades and draft picks, I think he's kept his job because that was also like, you know, McCaskey, like ownership were like, yeah, we want, like, this is how we want it to happen. And I think he kind of masterminded that a little bit behind, so they rewarded him with a new contract. I hope Justin Fields as well in New York. I don't think he got a fair chance with the Bears. I don't think he got a fair chance with the Bears. I also don't think he got a fair chance with the Steelers, because like he was playing pretty decent, and then kind of Russ kind of, well, I guess got healthy, and then they were like, yeah, we're going back to Russ. And then Russ kind of was good enough to begin with, and then he fell down a cliff. Like he had like 3 or 4 great games and then just disappeared. This absolute performance of a cliff, and then they just obviously kind of bombed out. But I mean, the thing is that the way that I see it is that the Steelers kind of hard passed on him, and he wasn't asking for a huge amount of money. What did he go to the Jets for? Like 20 million? Like, that's not a huge amount of money for a QB. So as much as I want Justin to do well, I do think he's going to end up being like kind of like passed around a little bit, and eventually he's going to end up as a backup somewhere. And that's just how it's going to be for him. But we'll see. The Jets are a real mystery this year. I think they've got the head coach right. So that's good. I don't think Justin Fields is going to pull a Baker Mayfield. Could do. But I don't know if he has like the thing with Baker though is he's always been like a gunslinger, always had the arm. But he was just wild, like he was untamed, right? And now he's just like with that experience and everything, he's just really dialed in. So I see him having more of the kind of the Mitch Trubisky arc, unfortunately, than I see him having the Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Jared Goff type arc. Mitch Trubisky. Yeah. I mean, he took us to a playoff game, so I mean, Mitch. Got respect for Mitch. Got some respect for him. Baker Mayfield's your fantasy. He's my fantasy QB too. So I play in a Superflex 2 QB league. And my God, my draft was like, okay, it was this draft was like insane. Okay, it was an insane draft. So we're a 10-man league, and 8 of us have been in the league the whole time, but 2 people left and then they rejoined. Basically, they kind of left for a year last year because they were like, we're fed up, we're not winning, we're fed up of all the drama and people talking about it all the time or whatever, taking up too much of their mental energy. And then they missed it so much that they've come back. So they joined the league again. But I don't think they realized that we were playing in like a super flex league, right? Which it completely changes the draft order. And so there's also another guy who just generally drafts weird. And so they were drafting like a normal league. Now in the Superflex, generally speaking, the first sort of round or in the first picks, if you have a shot at an elite QB, you take an elite QB because an elite QB plus maybe a pretty decent QB is going to be a massive amount of points. And I was picking 4th and I got Lamar Jackson because the 3 people in front of me picked Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, and maybe Jamar Chase, which would have been maybe it's the only one of those that I would suggest is okay-ish. So I ended up with Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield as my 2 QBs. In my Superflex. I also managed to get the Buccaneers rookie Egbuka. Is his name Egbuka? I managed to get him as a late round flyer, so hopefully a little bit of point stacking there. But yeah, so my first pick was Lamar Jackson. My second pick was Baker Mayfield because he was just sat there, and I was very aware that on the turn it was going back round. So it was going round to all of those people who did not pick a QB in the first round. I was like, I can just cut QBs. So my first round pick was Lamar Jackson. Second round pick was Baker Mayfield. Third round pick was Malik Neighbors, if you believe it or not. That was my first 3 rounds of my fantasy draft. I was literally just like, give me the trophy now, boys. That's how I felt at the time. In hindsight, I don't think it's good. It's not like, I mean, some of the guys have got, because the guys that went no QB, which is crazy in my opinion, but they went no QB, they've got like Justin Jefferson, CD Lamb, and Brock Bowers on their team. Like, what? It's like all players that could have gone in the first, it's a pretty crazy, right? But their QBs are, they've got like Drake May and not even. No, I don't even as good as Drake May. I don't know, like some like, oh, Gino. It'll be like it's like Geno Smith and Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. Like, which are like, you know, Trevor Lawrence can have a good, like, there's nothing to say they can't have great games. It's just not going to be it. Saquon, Brock Bowers, and Kyron Williams, your first three. That's a great first three picks in a standard like league. Oh, you're a non-PPR as well. Okay, so RB heavy. Yeah, we are half point PPR as well. So we're Superflex half point PPR. We're CD, A-Chain, and Bucky Irving. Nice. I drafted Bucky Irving last year in the 10th round. And we usually have a keeper league. So usually we do 2 keepers per year. But because those 2 players were joining back, we made the decision to scrap keepers for a year because it was kind of unfair because you'd have 2 people joining in and 8 players have already maybe, you know, snatched up premium players at ridiculous discounts. And so yeah, my keepers were going to be Bucky Irving and Lad McConkey were my 2 from last year. Watch yourself when you're talking about your QB. You draft Bucky last year as well. I tried him way before his breakout. I luckily kind of hung on to him, keeping the faith. But I was really annoyed that he didn't. I was really annoyed that he kind of just ended up just being RB2 still. Like when he was on the field and had the ball in his hands, he was great. But they just weren't using him loads. I found that very frustrating. I think this year they're going to use him way more. But yeah, last year they didn't use him enough. Trevor legacy season incoming. Hey, if Trevor, like I said, we said it earlier in the show, like in the stream, if Travis Hunter is good, and you know Brian Thomas, he was another one that I drafted, by the way, last year. My team was loaded last year. I couldn't even think what my keepers would be. Like I had so many keepers. But yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. plus Hunter. And you got Liam Cohen, like now as your new head coach, OC. An actual good offensive scheme, potentially. Even though if Cohen is a bit of an oddball. I mean, the whole situation with him signing his contract there and signing to be the head coach was like the weirdest 24 hours sequence I've ever seen in a hiring search. Like, like, man, it was so weird. Like, I can't believe that he basically, like the Bucks, he basically was walking down the aisle of the church and he met the Buccaneers at the altar and he held out his hand and they got the ring out, and just as they were about to put it, he went like psych and then ran off down and just ran off with the Jaguars, you know? That was like what happened. It was wild. It was, I've never seen like a head coach like it flip like that. I mean, I guess the Jags just gave him an offer he couldn't refuse, but crazy. Duval, God, that clip. Oh. Do you have pictures of minis? You do have pictures of minis. Oh, these are cool, son. I feel like halflings are probably the least sort of like, I mean, if you were going to start a Blood Bowl team, like an American football team, I think halflings would probably be the bottom of the bottom of the list, really. I mean, I suppose if you were against like really tall things, you could like run between their legs. I just don't think their little legs. Jax will probably win 6 games at the most. The defense is Swiss cheese. I don't know. Your division is kind of a little bit soft. I think this is my... I don't know if it's a hot take. Let's go lukewarm take. My lukewarm take is that the Dolphins are going to be awful this year. They're going to be bad. And it's basically Mike McDaniel is going to move on at the end of the season. That's my lukewarm. Potentially hot. I don't know. Depends on if you agree with me or not. But I truly believe that the dream of Miami is over. And I think Tua is one concussion away from forgetting his name and who he is. Like, that's really bad. Tyreek isn't even named a captain, I heard. Like yesterday or earlier today, I think. Hasn't even been named a captain. Obviously has been very vocal about wanting to be traded or not very happy and all this, that, and the other. You know, they weren't particularly great last year. They were kind of... They're always the team that's kind of relatively interesting because they have... Mike McDaniel's got a great offense, so they're always an interesting team. But... yeah. I think this is the year that the wheels properly come off and they go... we need to rebuild. And maybe they rebuild with Mike McDaniel. I don't know, but I think he's a great coach. So I think that ultimately, you know, they would be hurting themselves. But, you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? You kind of, if good coaches go on a little bit of a bad streak, that's all that's needed sometimes. You know, that's coaching. That's the roller coaster. But anyway, I'm excited anyway. So first game on Thursday, and we'll all be talking about how bad the Cowboys are on Friday morning. Right, I need to go to bed. Thank you all again so much for watching today. Thank you so much for the gifted subs, Sun and Pickle, and happy birthday, Pickle. You had a great birthday. Thank you for spending some of it with us. That's awesome. I will be back. Maybe sometime later this week. Honestly, I don't know. I've got to paint our living room at some point, so that's my kind of like my weekend job. So we'll see how that goes. And then football on Sunday, of course. And yeah, I'm away next week, so I won't be on during the week next week. Maybe we can sort something out for the weekend. But yeah. All right, everyone. Well, as always, have a great rest of your day if you have any of it left. Have a great week. Few days. I will catch up with you soon. I'll catch you next time. All right, everyone. Bye.